hello, Ravenflower here. And we are going to, there was an overwhelming response in regards to my turmeric golden milk and the recipe. And so I thought today or this afternoon, since I have the day off, I would share with you my knowledge of this recipe. And I hope that you enjoy it. I will tell you that it is an acquired taste. You get used to it over time. At first, it could be a little dramatic, but that's where the honey comes in, and I think you're going to be fine. You're going to need measuring cups. So you've got your measuring cups. You're going to need that. You're going to need a quarter cup of turmeric, and we'll put that in there. And then you're going to need about a cup of water, but you're going to pour it in over time, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, then you're also going to need some sort of milk, and if you are, I'm somewhat lactose intolerant, so therefore I like either the almond milk, or I am just been recently turned on to the oat milk, and I love that. But you're going to need some sort of milk. Cow's milk works as well. Probably stay away from heavy cream. You don't want to do that. But almond milk, cashew milk, soy milk you could do, oat milk you could do. These are the two options that I have. I think today I'm going to try the oat milk because I haven't done this with oat milk before. And oat milk is a bit of a more creamy texture or creamy tasting milk as opposed to the almond. So, I generally make sure that they're original and they're not sweetened. So, because we're already going to add some honey for some sweetness. Next up, you're going to need, obviously after your turmeric, this is what I get from Central Market Organics, or you can also get some, turmeric is found everywhere in the spice aisle. Indian stores are a great place to find turmeric because turmeric is one of the main ingredients in curry, and it is wonderful. So you're going to need your turmeric. I also like to add some ground ginger. So we're going to add just a little bit of ground ginger. And then we are also going to add some cinnamon. Also very good. Now, next up, you're going to need some black pepper. And this is just while it's heating up and whatnot. And you are going to add it to the turmeric once it's in the milk form. And the reason for this is because the black pepper actually helps with the absorption, believe it or not, of the turmeric. And then also, I also add a dollop of and a small dollop of virgin coconut oil. This is wonderful stuff. In the main recipe that I had gotten, and then I have now sort of adapted, they added coconut milk also for absorption. And gosh, there was something else, but I have forgotten it. Anyhow, coconut milk, awesome stuff. So anyhow, that's what we have to go off of, and you're also going to need a medium to small little pan. So we're going to get going. Okay, we're all set up. We're ready to go. I've already gone over the ingredients for you. Now we're going to do the application. So first of all, we're going to need our turmeric. We're going to start with the turmeric. And you're going to need a quarter cup of turmeric, and you just sort of measure it over the pan, because something about turmeric you should know is that it does stain. So if you have it and it's like on your skin and you are trying to get it off and you try to use water to get it off, it actually comes to a paste and will often stain your skin. So you want to be cautious of that, and especially cautious of your clothing if you don't want it on there. So that's a thing. And you notice I'm already getting a little messy with it. So anyhow, you're going to want to get as close as possible to a quarter cup of this. I'm doing pretty well, and I think I'm just going to finish off, or if I can. There we go. Finish off so that you have as close to a quarter cup as possible, and it's overflowing a little bit, but there you have it. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in my pan. There's nothing in it so far, and I haven't applied the heat just yet. Then what you're going to do, spatula, which is another thing that you need. I'm going to turn on the heat now, and I'm going to put it to about 8. So not a high heat, but almost there, right? Next, I take my cup of water, and I'm slowly, let's see if I can, there we go, slowly going to add some water to this paste, or to make a paste. So I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. Right there, I've only done just a hair of it, and I keep that close by. And with the heat, all you're going to do is you're going to kind of mix it up, and it's going to start to make a paste, as you can see. And you're going to do that over the heat. Now this is way too dry, so we need to add more water. I usually don't use a whole cup, but I guess different conditions and different climates require for different things. So now I've added all that water, and you see how fluid and that is. And my cats are displaying for me in the background because I have been gone this morning. So now it's like, look at me, look at me. That's what they're doing. So Siggy is attacking a plastic or a paper bag that I've brought in. She's like, how dare you bring this bag in my house? And she's running amok. So, okay, the heat is going, as you can see. It's under there. And then now I've got this turmeric watered down turmeric reduction kind of thing. Now we're going to reduce it down. So kind of scrape the sides as we go. I'll just do this in real time for you because it would be easier to understand instead of me just being, voila, it's done. So you keep stirring, you've got your heat going. You want to keep this going, keep it stirring, don't leave it to set. And you're kind of cooking the turmeric. The heat, when you apply heat to the turmeric, is what's going to give you that anti-inflammatory. Really, really going to kick it in for you. That anti-inflammatory benefits. Now, this is not a quick fix. This is kind of a routine that you're going to fall into. This is once a day type thing. And as you see, as we're going, it's getting a little bit thicker. You can kind of see it in the pan there, getting a little bit thicker. And that's good because we're really going to try to make it a nice, smooth consistency. Nice, smooth consistency is what you're after. More of a paste. And I mean, it will get there. The water is going to cook off, but see all that wonderful steam? That's great. You're kind of cooking the turmeric. You're sort of activating it, if you will. And like I was saying, this is going to be a routine for you. I've noticed back in San Antonio when I did this, my hip, my neck, shoulder, knee, all those things that I have osteoarthritis in really helped with my pain levels. Like it really made a difference. It takes about a week, if not 2, of once a day doing this. This portion right here is setting you up for a container of turmeric or turmeric paste that will last you a good 2 weeks in the fridge. So this is a great consistency I've got going here. If you see that it's starting to kind of, you see that? It's kind of hard to see without the steam, but you see it's nice and thick. It's maintaining some of its shape there, and it's a good consistency. See that there? It's not chunky, it's not completely fluid, but it's more of a maybe runny paste. Runny paste. That's what you're looking for right there. Really, really good. And we have activated it. You can see that it's kind of changed color. It's actually deepened a little bit, and you want that. That's good. That's very, very good. Okay, at this point, what you were going to do is you are going to, I don't know how many minutes that was, maybe 5 minutes or so, about 5 minutes. What you're going to do is take it off of the heat now. Take it off of the heat. And I'm just going to turn that off for just a second. You're going to transfer this into a glass bowl. And the reason for the glass bowl is because you want it to be able to cool down so that you can put it in a glass container, glass bowl, if you will, or a, I don't know why this cat thinks she's on the counter. That's a no. Glass container, so that way you can have it cool down before you put it into the refrigerator. So I just took out last week's turmeric. You want it to cool down before you put it into a plastic container. You want some sort of airtight container. This is great. So this is my turmeric from last time that I made it. You can see it keeps really well. It almost looks like baby food, right? Banana squash, kind of. And you can see that the water sort of collects on the top. You just sort of mix it in and you go from there. So I'm going to be using this turmeric because it's still good, and this right here is my paste for next time. So actually, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of this. Again, you're going to want that glass bowl before you go putting things into a plastic bowl. You don't want that. So I'm just going to use a bowl that this is a ceramic or a glass bowl. You can use my ceramic bowl that Mr. Bear made me. He's trying to figure out ways to still make pottery right now, because right now a lot of house repairs or things that we're trying to add and do to the house right now, settling in still, trying to make it our own, is happening and takes precedence over some of the stuff that we want to do. So anyhow, okay, so you just take that out of your pan. Take it out of your pan. It has a pretty strong scent, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna drink that, really? There's a lot of people that take turmeric pills or capsules. That's certainly a way to go if you don't like the flavor, and not many people do, I'll tell you. It took me a while to get used to it. I didn't care for it at first and was adding quite a bit of honey. So, okay, my bowl is filled. That's going to cool down. This is now like so. I'm going to use this immediately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, let's see, I'm going to put that to a side. I'm going to take, when you're first starting out with turmeric and making the golden milk, you're only going to want a little bit. You're not going to need a whole bunch. So you see that nice, creamy, really good consistency there. You're going to want about a nice teaspoon, okay? Put that in the pot. Put that in the pot there. And you're going to use the same spatula. I went a little bit light on my teaspoon because I knew it already was on the spatula and on the sides of my pan, so I wasn't going to be too concerned about that. So I'm just going to place this to the side so that it can cool. And see, I didn't even use all the water. Look, see, I still had that much water left. So really you're using about 3/4 cup of water. Just move it around here. Okay, now it's time to turn your heat back on. And this is a two-part process here. So first you make the paste, and then after you're done making the paste, then you go into the almond milk, or the, almond milk, the golden milk recipe. So that is cooking. I'm just gonna, again, activate your turmeric. It's nice and warm right now. And I'm going with oat milk. So I'm gonna open this up. And I don't need a whole heap, just so that the bottom is covered and it's going to be a good, enough for a mug. 1 mug of milk. And there you go. So now I'm going to heat that up, stir it around, scrape the sides so that I get all of my product in there. All my wonderful turmeric. Put that in there, because that's the good stuff. I'm going to scrape that around. Okay, so then you're just cooking it. You're just cooking your milk. You don't want to overcook it. You don't want to undercook it. You want it to be nice and warm so that turmeric is activated. And you want to make sure that there's no clumps in here as well. And you can see that right now I've got a couple of clumps. And we'll work those out. So you just do that by stirring and sometimes I flatten the little clumps on the side of spillage. Spillage. Towel. Turmeric spillage happens. No fret. And then you just throw it away. Okay. So there it is, cooking up, cooking up. This is a great time if you want to add your black pepper. And again, the black pepper actually helps with your body to absorb the turmeric in the places that it's needed. So if you're wanting it for pain relief, then I strongly suggest you get some pepper up in there. And you saw how much I added. So there it is at the bottom there. Can't really see it. Okay. So I just stir that in, keep it stirring, keep it going. You can see it's really warming up now, so I don't want to have it on here for much longer. I'm also going to add some ginger, and it's just a couple sprinkles there, just off the topper there. And I'm also going to add some cinnamon. Cinnamon is also good with blood flow and things like that, and also just makes it a little bit more of a fall drink. You know, it's not a pumpkin spice latte, but here, it's a golden latte for you. All right, next, I'm going to add some honey. And for you starting out, I'm going to really suggest you go hard with the honey. You don't want to, like, take on too much, but I'm going to probably give myself 2 big globs like that. I'm going to do 2 of those. It is pungent, it is strong, the turmeric, so this honey does help get you past that. And as long as you're not going overboard on your sugars daily, it's not a big deal. And really, if you're going to enjoy this drink, you're going to need a little honey. And then you can also wean yourself off of the honey, or you can wean yourself down so that you're not using so much. But I have found that I need at least that much, because now I am just starting it all over again. I'm going to reduce the heat here down to medium. There's that, and oh, it has such a good aroma. That cinnamon and that ginger really was like, yeah, that's lovely. Okay, next up, I'm going to let that almost done cooking here. Everything is mixed. Just make sure everything is mixed before you go taking it off the stove. Very nice. I'm going to cut off my heat and just move it aside here. Yummy, yummy, honey. I'm going to get myself a good mug. Why not? Witchy mug. It's good to me. My little witchy mug. You can also add your honey in here if you want and then stir it in. You're welcome to do so. I usually like to keep my spoon with me because you're going to want to stir, because sometimes the turmeric will settle to the bottom and it's difficult to drink when it's all like that and, you know, at one point. So you want to stir and then take a sip and then stir and then take a sip. So I am going to rinse my spoon off real quick because I want to not cross-contaminate. I want to be able to dip it in and get some coconut oil. Here is my coconut oil. Here is my clean spoon, and I'm just going to take like a little bit, like that much. Not much at all, okay? And I'm just going to put it in my cup, and then I am just going to pour this all in my cup. And there you have it. There is my golden milk recipe. There you go. Coconut oil is going to look a little weird on top there, but it has its purpose. I would probably let it cool a little bit before really going at it and drinking it, but that is your golden milk. And you're going to want to do that once a night for the rest of your life. So there you go. And again, once my turmeric cools over here in the bowl, I will add it to my little container. So this is quite a bit of turmeric, but it will fit in my little container. You saw how it did before. And each night I'll take a little scoop, my little teaspoon out, add it to my milk, warm it up, and then I actually have a container. If you have like an older pot, I just sort of keep it for that purpose, because I know the turmeric does stain, so you don't want to, you can see how it yellowed in my little container here. So this is my turmeric container. I have certain spatulas, I have certain, pots for that, so that way it doesn't get crazy. So anyhow, that's that. Yay, turmeric! I hope you guys enjoyed my little demonstration, and I hope that you enjoy some turmeric. And remember, keep it stirring, because it'll settle at the bottom there, and you're going to get a clump of turmeric in your mouth, and you'll be like, ugh. So again, acquired taste. It takes about a week, sometimes 2, in order for you to feel the relief, but the anti-inflammatory properties are pretty amazing. And this was just my little change up on a traditional recipe. I added the cinnamon and the ginger, and also did it with the oat milk, and it looks really creamy and delicious. And I'll tell you that when I did it with almond milk in the past, it wasn't as creamy. It was very watery and kind of weird. But anyhow, so there you have it.